who on their day could well challenge. The 5,000 metre final. That championship record, 12:52.79, set in that race in Paris. Not sure we'll see anything like that today, but who knows. Bekele has gone off hard around that first bend. Kipchoge following him. And then on the outside, Bernard Lagat leading that group as well. And then once they've run that bend hard, they slow right down as we come through for the first time. 12 laps to go.
Well, we've seen him in many kinds of races on the country, on the track, indoors and out, 5 and 10,000 metres. And his traditional opening is to get to the front as soon as he possibly can. Normally his scenario is to get to the front as soon as he can and stay there. But today he doesn't need to be in the front all the time. But I think one of the things that he's going to be carrying with him in this race today is that he needs to make it somewhere in the race. He needs to make it fast enough so that he puts pressure on the Lagat and Kipchoge, because he knows he can outsprint them, but I think he can outsprint them better in a true run distance race. If it's really slow, I think he could have some questions. But Mo Farah at the back of the pack, just sitting there next to Abdosh, who ran such a brave race when he fell over in the heats and came racing back and ran very hard all the way there, and eventually was reinstated. And I thought that was a great piece of refereeing by the judges, and I thought it was great what they did. Bekele settling down, and he's slowing there at the front.
It's the first round of the women's long jump. Brittany Reese of the USA, world leader, 7 meters and 6. No great championship record though. It's a pattering stride, and that was very easy. And
just about 800 meters completed, and it's slow. The first lap wasn't too bad, 64, but look at that one. There's a 75 lap there, 2:20 through 800 meters. That's probably not quite what we're expecting, and Mo Farah has been happy to stay at the back from the very beginning. Maybe he knows something we don't know, that it was going to be this slow, but he's been happy to run just 2-3 meters off the back of the pack as well, Brennan. So I've been watching him through the binoculars just to check he's running okay, but it's all right running at the back, but he's about 4 meters off the back of the pack. Would you do that?
Well, you'd be surprised why he's doing that, but he's there. He's not detached at all. But Kenenisa Bekele, you know, when he broke the world record for this event, he averaged 60.7 for every single lap of the track. And the last lap of the track he did 75 seconds, so he's obviously got a range of abilities, but at the moment he's not doing anything serious.
Well, he's picked the pace up a little bit. I'm just a little concerned about Mo Farah. He's having to speed up a bit now to get with this a bit of injection of pace. You can see they're all stretched out. He's right at the very back. I just think if you come into a final and you want to contend, that you should be in that group there, feeling as though you're in the race and ready to react, because if something kicks off at the front here, he's got to run almost 2 seconds quicker on a lap to get up with it. So I'm just a little concerned that he's running at the back. It's early days yet, so let's not get too worried. And just watching him there, that injection of pace by Bekele, he's backed off again, having a little word behind him, and he's playing games a little bit. And I'm pleased to say that Mo Farah is now getting himself into the pack and has decided that next time they go, he's going to be a little bit closer.
Well, Kenenisa Bekele seems to be not only leading the race, but he's telling them what to do. Settling on the inside, Abdosh, his teammate, I thought he might have some application in this event, but I'm sure the slower it goes for the next couple of laps, eventually the faster they'll break away and try and do the business. But there, Kenenisa Bekele realizing he's got to apply himself a little here now, got to get closer. Mo Farah is just one from the back, but he's gradually moving his way through. We come alongside the Australian athlete Collis, Birmingham, and he's been running well this year. And this is going to be a test for him too.
Ebuya picks the pace up again, and a lot of athletes won't enjoy this, where the pace is going quicker and slower. And I'm really worried about Mo Farah. Really, I'm concerned that he's not feeling too good out there. I think he would have wanted to be in with the group here. Matt Tegenkamp towards the back. That's Solinsky of the USA on the inside. Lagat's in the group. And Mo Farah looks to me like he's working really hard. And at this stage, Bren, you can understand injection of pace later on, but it hasn't been that fast, and I think he should be able to cover that a little bit better. Collis Birmingham's the only athlete behind him. But we'll keep an eye on that. Bekele's now taking it on from Ebuya, then Solinsky of the USA just sitting there in third place. There's Lagat, Kipchoge moving on the outside. They've got the other Kenyan in there is Chepkok, Vincent Chepkok as well.
61 for that lap. Now they're getting serious, and this is the point in the race where Mo Farah can't afford to be in that position for much longer. And if you look at it, they're running 61 at the front. He's got to run 60 seconds just to get on terms with them. And Steve's keeping a close eye on Mo Farah, who he's suggesting is going through a bad patch, but I don't know why Mo's giving them this start now. In the early laps it's not a problem, but now when they're operating this speed, just imagine it, you've got to run faster than they're doing. Kenenisa Bekele looks over his shoulder and tells Ebuya, come on, it's your turn, I've done my bit.
Mo might be just playing a canny card here, as we'd say, because when the pace is moving up and down, if you can just stay even pace, then that's good to do. And if he has been going through a bit of a sticky patch at all, he's certainly got himself into a better position. When they slowed up, they got himself back involved in the race, back in the pack, and I think that's a good place to be. Now, is it going to stretch out again? We've had this fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. That's not a rhythm which most athletes would enjoy. A 64-second lap there. Kipchoge, Ebuya, just putting some pressure. Three Kenyans all gathered around Bekele, but he's been in this position many, many times before. That won't faze him too much.
It's a hard way to run a 5,000 meters, to run alternative 61 and then 64-second laps. You've got to get used to the rhythm, and you notice that it's going to change. Sometimes you're hurting, and you think, my goodness, I'm going through a bad patch, but then you realize the pace is being lifted. And now the three Kenyans, they're working as a team. Eliud Kipchoge did his bit, and they've got 8 laps to go in the men's 5,000 meters, and this is the kind of distance where athletes can start thinking about making serious attempts. Chepkok does his bit at the front. Bekele's back in 5th place. The former champion is in 2nd place, Eliud Kipchoge, and there Bekele decides, no, you're not doing it, I'm going to have my go again. And here he goes at the front. Now this might be the time when Kenenisa Bekele tries to make this a long, long, hard run for home.
A 64 lap, but the pace has been all over the place. I would suggest that at some point they've run a 200 in just under 30 seconds, and at other times they've run 200 meters in something closer to 40 seconds. And that's the differential we've seen, as we see a little bit of bumping and barging there. Medhin of Eritrea just adrift, and we just got a quick shot of him. He's not even in that pack, he's right at the back there. So 5 laps to go, 2,000 meters to go in this 5,000 meter final. Mo Farah right at the back of the group, or towards the back of the group where he's been most of this race. Kenenisa Bekele at the front where he's been most of the time, and Kipchoge looking at him. There's the big three there, Bekele, Kipchoge, Lagat just on the inside, Kipsiro in the yellow vest of Uganda on the outside, and they're still messing around with the pace.
Well, in the past it was always national teams where athletes worked together and helped one another. It was always either the Kenyans working together or the Ethiopians working together. However, nowadays these athletes are managed by groups of agents, and these two, the first two, Kipchoge and Bekele, are both managed by one of my former rivals, Jos Hermans. So they know each other well, and they are actually helping each other, working together. Even though they're competitive, they both want a hard and a fast run race. And Kenenisa Bekele just can't control himself. He doesn't want to be slow, he likes to be quick. And I think here now, with 4 laps to go, Kenenisa Bekele looking over his shoulder, and now he's beginning to strike. Now he's beginning to apply the pressure. Now he's beginning to push the pace. And I think they're going to have to run fast to get close to him and even to go past him. Mo Farah is in about... Where is he? I can't...
Well, he's about 6th place, Brendan. He's right in there in the race. And there's whatever was his tactics earlier on, it doesn't matter. He was very much in the right place. He was coming into a good position down the home straight when they came around with 4 laps to go. So Mo Farah doing his best to make sure that when the move comes, he's going to be ready. It hasn't really happened yet. It looked as though Bekele was going to stretch them at that point. So, of course, every lap that goes by, Bernard Lagat sitting on the inside, the 1500-metre specialist in the dark blue of the USA, will become a bigger and bigger threat, the defending champion. Bekele on the inside, Kipchoge, Lagat over on the curb, Kipsiro in 4th place. Then we've got Ebuya, we've got James Kwalia from Qatar. Mo Farah just behind them with Solinsky of the USA.
Mo Farah right in amongst them. Now he's come from a long way back. He took it very easy in the early stages. The race was slow and he wasn't a problem at all. But now the champions are at the front. The world champion for 5,000 metres, the former world champion for 5,000 metres, and the world champion for 10,000 metres, Kenenisa Bekele. Just glancing over his shoulder there, he got a bit of a click on the heels. He wasn't very happy with that. He glared at Lagat. 62 seconds, he's going to have to keep picking it up. He's going to have to keep moving it faster, and he's going to have to run faster than 62 to get rid of this group.
This is building to a really exciting climax, and one which it's impossible to predict. A big group still as we come down to approach 2 laps to go in this 5,000-metre final. Mo Farah still there for Great Britain. Bekele at the front, looking as though this is becoming a little bit of hard work for him. Bear in mind, he's had a 10,000-metre final to contend with, 5,000-metre heats. Lagat had 3 rounds in the 1,500 metres, nowhere near as damaging as running a 10,000, of course. And that looks like, is that Ebuya who's just stepped off? That's Ebuya, and it doesn't look as though, well, he started to run again, not quite sure why. He had a little look behind to see whether he was last, realised he wasn't. So, Bekele at the front, Bren, then Kipchoge and Lagat, the big 3 right at the fore.
And Lagat not running great in the 1,500 metres. I wonder if it's going to be as good today, or better today, I mean. And on the outside there, Kipchoge, as we look at Ebuya there, and Kipchoge, he hasn't had a race coming into this one. Now he's on the shoulder of Kenenisa Bekele. Mo Farah is in a good place, moving up onto the outside. He needs to take closer order, and if he gets a run on the last lap, Mo Farah's in a great position now. He's finally worked himself so that he's close. He's yards only behind the great Kenenisa Bekele. There goes Bekele. He's going to hold it, and he's going to try and sprint and hold this race right from the start, right from the front. There goes Mo Farah on the outside. He's got chances now. He's really quick, Mo Farah, but the 3 at the front are talented, and Bekele is coming under a little bit of pressure. Farah's in a good place there. Can he strike from there, or is he going to tire from there? What a battle we have before us now.
200 metres to go. Kenenisa Bekele kicks hard from the front. Lagat is still there on the inside. Kipchoge looks as though he hasn't got too much left. Kipsiro of Uganda, and then Kwalia. Lagat, the big threat. Kipsiro coming on the outside. Mo Farah just starting to disappear, but here we are. The big battle for the title. The defending champion, Lagat. 1,500-metre speed against 10,000-metre strength. Who's going to win this? Right to the line. Bekele's going to get it. Strength outlasts the speed. Bekele is the double champion. What a race from the 2 of them. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I thought just for a moment that Lagat had the pace, but it came down to strength and guts and determination, and of course no mean ability. Kenenisa Bekele, the double gold medalist. Mo Farah, we think 7th or 8th. 7th place for Mo Farah. I'm not sure he was at his best today, Mo, and he maybe would have